For the team, it feels a little bit more comfortable. We have some guys with more experience. We have a better source of leadership from a few guys as well, and then the overall work ethic of the team has been a little bit higher. We got guys getting in the gym at all hours of the day, in between different workouts. So I think we got a group of guys that have a little bit more high intensity. For me personally, it's been a little different, just kind of recovering from an injury. I'm just excited to get back out and start being able to do some more things in terms of practice and stuff like that and workouts. But it's been a little bit different, but for the most part, I'd say it's good.
Do you feel like maybe from a starting point of where this team is, say, day one today, you're a lot further along than you have been in the past?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we have a little bit more of an identity, again, just because of the amount of experience that we have coming back. But I think that we're all pretty excited about where we've come over the last couple months. We're excited where we're going, and I feel like we have some opportunity, especially in the non-conference season, to make some waves. So, but right now it's all about just preparing for day one, taking it one day at a time. So,
you feel a little more comfortable knowing what the Missouri Valley Conference is like now?
Yeah, I think we have a little bit better feel for it, obviously. Last year was a little different just because we didn't know what to expect in terms of, teams, atmospheres, and different arenas, stuff like that. But now I think everyone's a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more settled in, and we've already kind of established some in-conference rivalries. SIU was a little bit intense last year, so I think everyone's kind of excited to get back at them. And then we kind of got a bad taste in our mouth from a few of the games that happened last year. So I know the guys that were here are hungry. I know the new guys coming in are excited to see what it's like. So I think the overall mentality of the team this year, especially with the coaching staff, it's positive.
So you personally, I know you like playing here too, don't you?
Yeah, and then Racer Nation always shows out. It was stated, I think, last year that we had the highest fan attendance in the conference. So that's something I look forward to again this year. Hopefully, Racer Nation kind of does the same thing and even increases the numbers a little bit. But it's on us, honestly, to kind of set the standard and get the energy going. But we look forward to seeing Racer Nation out.
Mentally, for you personally, getting through the injury, how has that been, and getting to this point, like you said, where you're almost ready to go? Yeah,
this isn't my first injury, but this has been a little unique. Just a small bone fracture in my foot. It's been something I've kind of had to, take a step back, stop, and let things kind of take their course. I get antsy, I get anxious, obviously with injuries. I feel like everyone would, but I think it's important for me, again, just to take one day at a time, kind of like the mentality of the rest of this team. But I feel good. I got out of the boot a couple days ago, started doing a little bit more intensive therapy. So all signs are pointing up. I feel like there's a lot of good things to come from me. I'm excited. I'll be ready before the season starts. So. Good.
How do you feel like you guys have kind of indoctrinated the new guys into the system? Like you said, there's 6 or 7 of you guys that are coming back from last year, so you already have that foundation, but you can just build upon it with these new guys.
Yeah, it's been good. I think our new guys have really kind of brought in a different level of energy and a lot of intangibles that maybe we didn't have last year. But you got guys like Nick and Malik who go at each other every day down low. They've made each other better, and I think obviously we have a lot of guys that still haven't seen what the MVC is like or this level of basketball. So I think it's important for all of us to kind of maintain as one unit, whether that's through film, through workouts, kind of just understanding what the standard is for this conference. But the new guys coming in, especially the freshmen, they've done their job. I think day one of practice starting today is kind of going to be a different animal, so it's going to be important that we all kind of stick together through that. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs throughout the season, whether that be in practice and games. But I think as long as we kind of stick together like we have been doing this entire summer, we'll be in a good spot.
Quincy, I know you already touched on it a little bit, but with the experience now in the new conference, all of these guys you have returning from last year, and even these new guys coming in who all look really good for you guys' team, what's kind of the expectation like now?
The expectation is always to win, especially around here, especially with me. I want to win every game, whether that takes us to the conference championship, regular season champs, tournament champs, anything like that. Like, I want to win every game. I expect to win every game. That's just kind of how I'm wired. So when it comes to expectations throughout the conference, that's just what it is. And, that's what it is around this community. That's why I chose to come here. Murray State is built on winning. So we didn't bring in guys to kind of, go through another rebuilding year or something like that. We brought in guys to help us win now. And I think Coach P and, the rest of the coaching staff has kind of instilled that mindset in us. Like, we're not here just to get through the season or just to, place. We're here to win. So I think, the leaders and the core group of guys that we have already kind of instilled that within the rest of the team as well. So that's the mindset, that's the expectation, that's the standard. We're going to win.
How does that compare to last year, where you guys you had some ups, you had some downs, and ultimately finished somewhere around the middle?
Yeah, I think we still expected to win last year. We had a really competitive group of guys, but at the same time, I think a couple people, even in the community, might have just said, hey, it was a rebuilding year, a lot of new guys, and that kind of almost gave us an out, gave us an excuse. A lot of us, all of us really weren't happy with that. But, this year it's a little bit different. This year we have a little bit more experience, so that kind of excuse isn't going to fly as much this year. So, awesome.
I guess I'll have a little more. Looking forward, first game of the year, of course, is the Racer Arena game. How excited are you to be a part of that momentous occasion?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I've said it a few times to people around the community. I think the fan base and a lot of the alumni have a little bit more in it than we do. Truthfully, a lot of us don't really know much about the history of Racer Arena. We've been told, we've been kind of shown, but as excited as we are, I think the community has become ecstatic, and almost, chomping at the bit for that game for November 1st. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to get in that atmosphere and play in that arena, but I'm also really excited just for Racer Nation to be able to experience it one more time. I think it's important for them, and I've only been here for, a year and a half, and I understand that the weight and the gravity behind Racer Arena and what it means to this community. So I'm really just excited for them.
Have you seen any videos of games from back then?
I've seen a few, mostly Coach Brown highlights, but I've seen a few. I've been able to watch a few highlights, hear a lot of stories, and from what I know, it's really special. And I know it gets loud. I know it's packed in. I know it's hot. For an opposing team, I'm sure it's not pleasant, but I'm looking forward to it.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
When it was.
Yeah, that's all I hear. That's all I hear. So I'm excited. I don't think I've ever been a part of an atmosphere like that or what it's going to be. So I'm really excited.
Has Coach taken put you guys through some preparations for that kind of environment, considering that it's going to be much louder than usual and much hotter than usual?
Truthfully, not really. I think from a coaching perspective, Coach B and the rest of the staff have kind of just approached it like any other game. We haven't really talked too much in detail about what it is. We just know that we have to go out and win, and that's our main mindset. But I'm sure once we get closer to the date, there'll be a little bit more specific detail, what it's going to be like, what we expect, our game plan, stuff like that. But for us, we got to approach it like any other game, even though we understand, the weight behind it.